Hey there, before the podcast starts, I would just like to say that if you haven't already, please go watch the video that me and Evie made on our personas and stuff. I feel like you'd really enjoy it. Now, please buckle up and listen in on the King's Cast. Let's get this podcast going. So, started out, was it fun making the video? Fudge,
yes.
Random noises. That's I kidnapped you because I'm just like, yo, we gotta do the video, we gotta do the podcast.
Yeah, well, I have to finish editing the video. I'm like, ugh, it takes so long.
Yeah, and not to mention I gave you so many clips to edit through.
Editing is like not my favorite part of like making videos.
Nah, but you know what's fun is you get to learn a lot about stuff as you go to the video. And I'm actually the research for the video, like about drag makeup and everything in general. Like things that are learned through that was so cool, like the way that makeup's done, or like how much effort really it takes. Cause I'm like, oh, this will be like some chill thing. No, it took a good amount of effort to get like the makeup on and stuff.
It was like, oh, maybe I should try this. I've seen people do this, and I was like, oh,
like
that
you
looks
had a
weird.
basic character we could have a reference for, but me, I didn't really go for a character. I went for.
I was so tempted to do a werewolf because I saw a drag king a werewolf makeup thing, and I was like, oh, I could do that, but I was like, I mean, I could, but I feel like we have to work with what we find at the store or the thrift store.
Yeah, and not to mention, like, I kind of like wish mine was kind of like yours. Like, you had a couple plans of what kind of characters you could base it off of, and what kind of like things. Me, I went boy version me. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I was like, I feel like the boy version of me would still be shy. And I was like, I feel like if I was a guy, I would probably wear, like, just t-shirts. Or, like, so I wear what I wear now. So basically, it wouldn't even look that much different.
Yeah, I went for more direction of, like, if I were a guy, I'm not going to be exactly how I am because my dad.
Yeah.
I'd grow up in a different way.
Good point.
And so I'm like, how would my personality change to that? And that's how Leo came into about. That's the name of mine. He's, like, very, very extroverted, very flirty, very, like, sup, girl? And, like, very out there.
Yeah.
Totally different than me.
So
he
like
probably would be a douche. He'd be a douche.
Yeah, probably.
Knowing him, he'd be a douche, but like a lovable douche.
Yeah, I feel like if there was a guy version of me, my dad would be like, let's play some sports and learn all this stuff. And I'd
throw around the old pigskin.
No, my dad was a baseball guy. So he'd just be like...
That'd be dangerous.
Yeah, I remember I wanted to learn what sometime. I was like, I want to learn that. That was like something he grew up with. And then, I was just like, this is weird. You're a really bad teacher. I wonder if you were a guy, would you still have eczema?
Yes.
Or bad lungs?
Yes.
Probably. So you'd probably be like...
I don't think gender would count for my genes.
Same for, like, extrovert and introvert. I feel like you'd still be an introverted guy, but you'd be able to express yourself a little more.
Just judging by how my brothers were raised differently compared to being boys, by my dad, who was very sexist.
Sexism.
That's why when I first like came in, like that's why I'm like glad that there's like things like this, like friends I can do it with, and there's like an internship. Like the internship was fun because I can learn more about it.
More about like the masculinity side.
Or like you could just learn about like the community in general, because what I learned from my dad was more like it was bad, it was something to shun or like spit upon and stuff. And I'm like, yo, he was a little more tougher turning those lessons to my brothers. So I'm like, I probably would be more douchey.
My dad didn't really, like, do that. Like, he wasn't like, oh, yeah, these people are bad, because in religion you're not supposed to do that, and they were really religious parents.
So was my dad, but he did the opposite.
It's weird.
He said God wanted it this way. I'm like...
I still feel like I'd be, like, a quiet little guy, but maybe a little bit louder. Actually, I might have been able to find friends more if I was a kid as a guy, but I doubt it.
I would definitely get slapped by a lot of girls.
Really?
Judging by how harsh my dad tried to get the sexism into my brothers, and the way I was such a follower, I feel like I'd still be such a follower to the point where I was douchey too. I'd be like, sup, ladies?
So you'd be a fuckboy. You're just like,
Yeah, it's disappointing, but yeah.
Oh, geez.
I would. Do you think we would go to the internship if we were guys?
I
say no.
You say no because you'd probably be
my douche self. I would be so like, nah, this ain't cool. Nah.
I feel like
I would.
Oh, and you would have like a bunch of guy friends.
Unless it was like secretly, I went to the thing.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, sneak over there. Speaking of the internship, what do you think? How was the internship this year? Like this year, like internship was very interesting.
It was
especially with Corona.
Yeah, I mean we've done it before like that, but it's just kind of like
it's
getting more and more kind of like, oh, I wish we could do fun stuff together.
Yeah, like you're not in person anymore, and that caused like a block a lot with it.
Yeah, and it's like you can't really like chat to the person next to you a lot of the time. You form relationships.
I remember like sometimes when like I wasn't near you, I would whisper someone else and make them laugh, and it always made me happy.
Yeah, I know.
It's like to make other people besides you laugh. Like no offense to making you laugh, but I know you laugh because we're friends and we know we're like very compatible with our jokes, and like that's cool. Like, yeah.
But like, I feel like I still would have maybe. Well.
So do you think online internship made it easier for you to socialize?
I feel like it didn't let us connect that well. You're just gonna sip your coffee. This is such a real podcast. You're sipping coffee and everything.
I need coffee. I don't need it, but I'm addicted to it. Well, how did you think the coronavirus like affected it?
Oh,
the internship
how the
in a whole, yeah.
I feel like it changed the whole experience, and it's not as interactive and fun.
So, did you get what you wanted out of it, or did you not? Like, cause me, I'm like, I still got what I wanted out of it. I learned things, and I was able to talk to people.
I knew that we weren't gonna be able to do things, and I like expected that, but it was just kind of like more lonely than I expected. I mean, we were doing a lot of that stuff together, but it was just kind of like, oh, I wanted to make new friends.
Yeah.
I barely know some of these people.
Yeah, and I knew some of these people from school and stuff, but like, at the same time, I'm like, kind of wanted to, like, I'm very shy, but like sometimes I'll come out of my bubble.
Yeah.
Like, I have my own personal bubble, but when I'm around people, like, I slowly, like, come out of that bubble. But with the screens, it kind of made it harder to, yeah, exactly. So I didn't exactly get everything I wanted, like, maybe new friends or something, but I did get, like, the information about drag.
Yeah.
Even though with all the technical difficulties.
I feel like the most fun is, like, being able to do something creative at home and sharing that with all these people. But that only works if everybody is willing to share and be like, yeah,
but we still were able to take things away from it, like learning about drag, like it influenced the makeup thing. Like I usually don't care about makeup, but I find it kind of fascinating how drag influenced a lot of the makeup scene.
Yeah, it's just kind of like, oh yeah, by the way.
Also, I also now have vivid nightmares of the movie we watched.
Oh yeah.
That was terrifying.
Terrifying
Yet caring.
No, I don't feel like it was terrifying.
To me, it was.
It was really I mean, you were just like, oh, that's weird.
I'm just like, help me, please.
I was more like, oh, this is really weird. I don't understand. Where did that motorcycle guy even come from? Like, why were they singing for that? That motorcycle guy was he was in the freezer, and then he died in the freezer. Why did he murder him?
It was very confusing.
Is it a musical? That'd be.
I mean, they were singing like every 5.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be interesting.
It was a very unique
movie.
All of it.
Yeah. Apparently my mom watched it. My mom is in her 60s. I did not think that she would have gone and seen it. She was like, oh yeah, my friend won some tickets. We're going to go watch it. And I was like...
My mom, when we talked to her about it, she was like, oh, I love that. I'm like, of course you would.
Of course. You're like,
the way my mom is, just, of course. Like, that seems like a movie she would have liked.
That says something about both of our moms. Like, my mom, I was just kind of like, what? And you're just like, of course.
Yeah. Really, but, like, seriously. And then we watched that one thing of RuPaul's Drag Race, which that's a show I kind of want to get into.
I feel like my mom would like watching that show because we watched America's Next Top Model, and it seems kind of similar. And so me and my mom would probably comment on the things like, what is that hair?
You know what's stuck in my head is the sashay away. That's like stuck in my head. Oh, it was fun. I mean, is there any way it could have been better?
Yeah. I feel like everybody's shy when it's on Zoom, which is like, it makes sense.
And also they can take their video off and their thing, so that makes it less like you can see their reactions and stuff. Which I remember I did that.
I mean, it makes sense.
I took my video off whenever the video was on because I'm like, you know what? Why have my video on?
I wonder if people are gonna get more used to. I wonder if people are gonna get better at getting on the camera now. They're gonna be like, yeah, or if they're just gonna be like,
I mean, school year is starting with Zoom, so.
I mean, that's gonna be weird going.
We had the chat. That was fun. The chat
that
was fun. That was like so much. But at the same time, I feel like
a lot of people use that a little bit too much.
Yeah, I get like if your thing's glitching, like the Wi-Fi and stuff, which was a big problem. Like whenever it's glitching, you have to use the chat. Really hands on the Wi-Fi thing, because my Wi-Fi too. I was like,
why?
Wi-Fi.
I have no. Sorry. Oh, is that a Wi-Fi pun?
I was trying.
I have no Wi-Fi at my house, so whenever we do that, I have to be over here, and so I'm just like, I have to.
Next Monday one.
I have to figure out how we're gonna do that, if I can.
Yeah, because it's not like we can just go over there and kidnap you real quick and just.
Hey,
okay, because the way we would return you would be on Thursday, but I have school starting Thursday.
So I'd just be like, well, what do you eat?
Hey, isn't the RuPaul's Drag Race? Oh, we should watch that.
Yeah,
that'd be so much fun. Just watch more of that, maybe.
Same thing we did with Pose.
I binged that
so
stuff.
Excited for season 3. There's gonna be a season 3 coming out soon, and you're like, yes. You can't see her, but she's dancing and she's drinking coffee, so she can't make no noise. I like that, like drag on a dime idea.
Yeah, didn't we just we did that in the video? Yeah.
Now I kind of want to return the stuff because I only used it once. I was like,
oh, I'm using mine forever. Like the flannel and the jeans. I'm
like,
wearing
them forever. Can I go back and get like?
Yeah, you want to explain why you chose to do Shelley Oberon?
Because I've been told that I look like Jack Black and that I'm just as funny.
Nice. What do you think? Okay, so if you had to explain in like one word, what might end up looking like? Explain him in one word.
Johnny Depp.
I was gonna say douche.
That too.
Shelley Oberon. My brain went Hamilton. You look a lot like Hamilton. I was like, Hamilton looking ass.
Is it because of my hair?
My hair was like and just the beard too.
Yeah, it's like, haha, you have similar beards. I'm just like, also you have buy flags everywhere. Didn't you have a buy backpack that broke from when did that break?
It was like sophomore year.
Yeah.
Before junior year.
Yeah.
When I was in
you had to always hide it from your dad.
Oh my god, when my dad came over, I just yeeted that thing into the closet all the way in the back. I was like,
it's back.
It's in the closet.
Oh my god. It's really, you love the myth like you made that pun, don't you? Are you proud of yourself? Yeah. Yes. What is something you're going to take away from this internship? What we want is to get back in person, and you can't really do that.
Like what? I mean, at least now we know how to work Zoom partly.
Yeah, that's gonna be great.
With all the technical difficulties, I'm pretty sure Siri got better at all that. I can speak English.
No, you can't.
Anyways, or like if people wouldn't have any glitching problems, but internet, it's like that's the thing with technology. It's everywhere, but when it crashes, it's a big inconvenience.
Damn. What was that?
Me trying to talk.
I feel kind of bad that Sari, like with the mic is off, I want to just like, yeah, like I want to like let him know that I am hearing.
Yeah, but you also don't want to interrupt. Right?
Yeah, I know. Like that's the biggest struggle. It's like I want to be like, yes, I want to add a little note there,
but at the same time, you do like, yeah. There's have been times where I'm like, I want to add the mic, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to ruin or interrupt too much. Or like my cat like randomly like makes a sound. Like sometimes I do have to shut him out of the room. And you know what he does? He scratches at the door a shit ton and just meows. Or Jinx will bark or some things. That's why I don't leave my mic on.
After all of our mics on, there'd probably be so much random noise in the background.
Yeah, there would.
I keep leaving it. Oh, I feel like one of my favorite parts of the internship was like having something to do after school on Mondays. I mean, it also gave me an excuse to go on a walk.
But once after coronavirus started, though, I didn't really get that walk. I know, it was always fun, like me and you just heading through Hicks, getting to like the next spot, and we were just always just like having fun. I would run ahead. I'm just like, why are you being so slow? And she's like, stop running! I'm like, no!
I was always like, oh god, why is this taking so long? And I'm just slow. And it's like sometimes if it's hot or like you're like sweating and then you get inside and you're like, why is it so hot in here? So I was kind of dreading it sometimes, but afterwards I'm like, I'm fine. This is not even that bad.
Not to mention sometimes we would leave a little bit earlier from the school and we just hang out by the lake. That was fun.
That was chill.
Yeah.
I can't believe you named all the ducks over there.
And I don't have the names anymore. Those ducks kind of grew older, and there's new ones coming in the years and stuff. But in middle school, I was a very lonely child.
Me too.
And very...
My phone buzzed.
I found
Buzz.
Time to get buzzed. Sorry.
Really?
I'm sorry. Anyways, no. But seriously, overall, the internship was okay. Not in person, but that's fine. Coronavirus.
I liked whenever we watched RuPaul's Drag Race. That was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I think you talked to me. You're like, I'm so sad that the chubby character got cast out the first time and stuff. But I'm like, wait, no, they made a good speech. Like, they were like, don't be afraid just because you're plus size.
Yeah. I was like, that was good.
I was like, which was something I was afraid of when we made the video. Because I was like, oh, being plus size, plus like, I'm very top heavy. Yeah. How am I going to make it look like I'm a dude? And you're like, you look like a bodybuilder, dude. I'm like, oh.
Yeah, especially like the proportions in your body. You're like, you're flexing. You're like, yes.
Not the flex, but...
I look like a dude.
I mean, we both did okay.
Yeah.
You fucked up my eye makeup more than once. And I fucked it up, too.
Yeah.
The eye makeup was the worst. And then it's still slightly staining my eyes to this day because the liner thing. It's like... So I look even more edgy and emo and just like I'm going to kill you.
Oh, God. Like, don't do that.
No.
What?
Anyways, this is Selena and
Evie
signing off.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
Of course you are.